The Curse of Oak Island preview. The guys are following the trail of gold deep into the garden shaft. The Curse of Oak Island is back tonight, and the team is finding more and more gold as they go deeper into the garden shaft at the Money Pit area. Fans of Oak Island should be prepared for another action-packed show this week, but we can expect the main focus to be on finding the large amount of gold that supposedly resides in the blob area near the garden shaft. In the words of Rick Lagina, they're following the trail of the gold. Last week, there was some disappointment when more borehole drilling in the blob area amounted to nothing. However, everyone was immediately buoyed up by archaeologist and metallurgy expert Emma Cullen, who said she found a large amount of gold in a sample of wood taken from the garden shaft. The wood showed traces of gold of 0.11%, which might not sound like a lot, but both Emma and geoscientist Dr. Ian Spooner agreed it's a lot. "That's a lot of parts per billion," said Emma. This week, it looks like Emma is finding even more gold. In a preview, she said, "The counts of gold are getting higher as we go deeper." More evidence suggests Money Pit is close to the garden shaft. Recently, a lot of evidence, such as the water sampling data and the carbon-14 data and wood from structures buried underground, seem to suggest the guys are finally getting close to the treasure. As the Dumas Mining Company gets closer to the bottom, everyone's fingers are firmly crossed. It shouldn't be too long now. This week's episode synopsis from the History Channel is all about the gold, and it is short, sweet, and to the point. It reads, "As the garden shaft operation gets deeper, the evidence of gold gets stronger." The guys have been cramming quite a lot into the episodes this season, and tonight looks no different. This episode is called A Well of Secrets, which likely refers to the mysterious well on Lot 26. Oak Island team digs for silver at the well on Lot 26. Previously, Ian said he had found a high level of silver in the water of this well, suggesting there may be something of value buried nearby. According to a preview, the guys have decided to dig out the well and excavate the area. Let's hope they find something. Meanwhile, blacksmith expert Carmen Legg is back on the show to appraise some artifacts. The team really loves this guy because he always gives top-notch expert advice, and it's usually good news. In a preview, Carmen can be overheard stating, "We're looking about 1650, 1690, which indicates an artifact that is way older than the initial discovery of the Money Pit." Carmen's words probably have something to do with another Gary Drayton discovery. The metal detectorist appears to have pulled a hook-like artifact out of the ground, and he thought it looks really old. Darkness clings to Oak Island like a second skin, and the wind whispers secrets through the gnarled trees lining the shore. For over 2 centuries, it has guarded its legend, a promise of hidden treasure buried deep beneath the surface, protected by booby traps, layered mysteries, and perhaps even curses. But now, in a bold new chapter, the Fellowship of the Dig is pushing further than ever before. As the Curse of Oak Island returns, viewers are thrust into one of the most ambitious digs in the show's history. The garden shaft, long suspected to hold clues to the island's enigmatic past, is now ground zero. And this season, Rick and Marty Lagina and their dedicated team aren't just drilling in the dark. They're following a trail of gold. A trail like no other. In previous seasons, the team uncovered traces of gold in water samples taken near the garden shaft. That alone was enough to raise eyebrows. Gold, not just minerals or iron or centuries-old timbers. Gold, the element that has lured treasure hunters to Oak Island since 1795. At the time, there was cautious optimism. But now, the optimism is giving way to sheer determination. This season's early results show that those golden traces weren't an anomaly. If anything, they may be breadcrumbs, scattered clues left behind, possibly unintentionally, by those who came before. The team believes these fragments of gold form a path, an invisible vein winding through the subterranean network beneath Oak Island, leading, perhaps, to a vault or cache buried deep beneath the surface. The garden shaft, first explored decades ago but long dormant, is now being methodically and dangerously reopened. Reinforced and outfitted with modern safety systems, it offers not just a physical pathway downward, but a symbolic one, a descent into the heart of the Oak Island, one layer at a time. As the team delves deeper, they're encountering layers of history, both literally and figuratively. Every board pulled from the shaft wall, every rusted nail or ancient timber uncovered is cataloged, studied, and debated. Could this wood match the dating of 1600s European oak? Was it French, Spanish, or perhaps it was the work of the Knights Templar, whose name continues to hover over Oak Island lore like a ghost refusing to rest. Rick Lagina, ever the stoic believer, stands by the shaft with his arms crossed, watching each layer disappear into the past. It's not just about gold, he says in one poignant moment. It's about the story. And I believe that story is getting clearer. But while the story unfolds, the danger intensifies. Descending into the garden shaft is no easy task. It's wet, unstable, and cloaked in darkness. The deeper they go, the more treacherous the dig becomes. And yet, the promise of something historic, something extraordinary, keeps pulling them forward. Clues from the underground technology plays a huge role this season. Ground-penetrating radar, sonar mapping, and muon tomography. All of it is being employed to paint a clearer picture of what lies beneath. And the results are, in a word, shocking. Imaging reveals voids. Large underground chambers, not far from the deepest levels of the shaft. Some are roughly cut, like natural caverns. But others show signs of intelligent design. Smooth walls, right angles, and even strange metallic signatures. Could these be the fabled treasure vaults mentioned in old maps and 19th century journals? Geologist Terry Matheson seems to think they're on the right path. What we're seeing down there isn't just random. There's geometry to it. Purpose, someone built something, and they went to great lengths to hide it. Tensions rise, and so do hopes. But with each new discovery comes mounting pressure. Time, as always, is not on their side. Weather conditions, financial constraints, and the ever-present risk of collapse loom large over the operation. And there are moments when the strain shows. Tempers flare, debates turn heated, and decisions have to be made with limited information. Marty Lagina, always the pragmatist, voices concern about the cost of continuing to chase shadows. We have to remember what we're dealing with here, he says. It's easy to get caught up in the romance of it all. But we need data, proof, something we can put our hands on. And yet, even Marty cannot deny the mounting evidence. Small but significant finds, including centuries-old coins, pottery shards, and a curious artifact that resembles a Templar cross, keep surfacing, almost as if the island itself is reluctantly giving up its secrets. The garden shaft's secret. Midway through the season, everything changes. A discovery deep within the garden shaft sends shockwaves through the team. It's subtle, at first, a discoloration in the rock, a strange glint in the torchlight. But tests confirm what many had only dared to hope, actual gold. Not just trace elements or contamination, but a tangible physical sample embedded in the structure of the shaft. It's not a treasure chest, not yet, but it's proof that they're on the right path. Proof that someone, at some point in history, stored or transported gold through this area. And if there's one piece of gold, there could be more. Much more. The atmosphere shifts. Conversations become more urgent. The machinery runs longer hours, and the team's resolve hardens into steel. They're not just chasing legends now, they're chasing reality. A legacy in the making. As this season of The Curse of Oak Island unfolds, the stakes have never been higher. Every foot deeper into the garden shaft is a step closer to solving the greatest treasure hunt in North American history. And while the island still guards its secrets tightly, the pieces are beginning to fall into place. Whether the final answer lies in a vault of gold, a religious artifact, or a long-lost historical document remains to be seen. But one thing is certain. The team is no longer wandering in the dark. They are following a trail of gold. And Oak Island is finally, just maybe, ready to reveal the truth.